Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the life you've been living isn't truly yours. Every choice you've made, every belief you hold, and even the dreams you chase, what if they weren't born from your true self, but molded by expectations, fears, and the invisible forces of society? Think about it. How much of who you are is authentic, and how much is just a carefully constructed mask? How often do you feel like you're simply playing a role, following a script written by the world around you? Today we explore one of Carl Jung's most powerful insights, the idea that life doesn't truly begin until you find yourself. But what does that actually mean? Is self-discovery just about awareness, or is there something far deeper at play? Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll see why most people never truly find themselves, and how you can break free. The illusion of self. Carl Jung was a pioneer of depth psychology, a thinker who looked beyond surface-level understanding of the mind to uncover the hidden forces shaping our identity. Unlike many psychologists of his time, Jung didn't believe mental health was just about fitting into society's mold. Instead, he saw true growth as a journey toward individuation, the process of becoming your most authentic self. But here's the problem. Most people never take that journey. They stay trapped in an identity that isn't truly theirs, shaped by family expectations, social conditioning, and fear. They seek validation from others, mistaking approval for happiness, all while feeling a quiet, persistent unrest deep inside. Jung believed that true life begins when we stop running from ourselves. But before we can talk about what it really means to find yourself, we must first understand what's keeping you from doing so. From the moment we enter this world, we are given names, roles, and expectations. We are taught what is acceptable, what is rewarded, and what is punished. Slowly, we learn to suppress the parts of ourselves that don't fit into society's mold. Think back to your childhood. Were there moments when you freely expressed yourself, only to be met with rejection? Maybe you were told to be realistic, to stop being so sensitive, or that your feelings were too much. And so, you learned to hide those parts of yourself, to build a mask, the persona. The persona is the version of ourselves that we present to the world. It helps us navigate society, build relationships, and gain acceptance. But here's where things go wrong, when we become so attached to the mask that we forget who we really are beneath it. And then, there's the other side of the coin, the shadow. If the persona is what we show the world, the shadow is what we hide from it. It holds everything we have rejected, our fears, suppressed desires, unspoken emotions, and even our greatest strengths. But the shadow doesn't disappear just because we ignore it. Instead, it operates beneath the surface, influencing our thoughts, our choices, and even the way we react to others. Have you ever met someone who triggered a strong emotional reaction in you, and you didn't fully understand why? Jung believed that what disturbs us in others often reflects something buried within ourselves. We project onto others the very traits we refuse to acknowledge in ourselves. But here's where the real secret lies. Within the shadow is the key to true self-discovery. Jung's greatest insight was that real growth isn't about eliminating the shadow, it's about integrating it. When you face the parts of yourself you've denied, you unlock an immense source of power, authenticity, and freedom. Most people believe they know who they are. They define themselves by their name, job, culture, and past experiences. But what if I told you that your identity is far more complex? Jung believed that within every person exists a vast hidden world, memories, emotions, and potential that we have suppressed. The journey to finding yourself isn't about constructing a new identity. It's about uncovering what's already within you. Have you ever felt a deep, unexplainable longing for something more, as if a greater version of yourself is waiting to emerge? That's not your imagination. It's your unconscious calling you to grow. But here's the hard truth. Most people never answer that call. Why? Because true self-discovery requires confronting the things you fear the most. Think about how often we distract ourselves. Social media, work, entertainment, anything to avoid sitting alone with our thoughts. This constant distraction isn't accidental. It's a defense mechanism, a way to avoid the deeper questions that linger beneath the surface. But no matter how much we try to ignore them, these hidden parts of ourselves don't go away. They manifest as anxiety, self-doubt, self-sabotage, and unfulfilling relationships. Jung believed that the unconscious is always speaking to us. We just have to learn how to listen. Now, here's the most powerful truth of all. You are not a fixed identity. The version of you that exists today is just one layer of a much deeper, ever-evolving self. Jung called this the process of individuation, the journey of integrating every part of yourself, the light and the dark, the strengths and the fears, the known and the unknown. But the biggest obstacle to finding yourself, it's not fear, it's not external conditioning, it's the illusion that you already know who you are. When you let go of the rigid labels, the expectations, and the need for external validation, you step into something far greater. You stop living as a fragmented self and start embracing the fullness of who you were meant to be. So now the choice is yours. Will you continue wearing the mask, playing a role in a life that isn't truly yours? Or will you take the first step toward uncovering the real you, the version of yourself that has been waiting beneath the surface all along? Because life doesn't truly begin until you find yourself. And now, you know the way.